Hey, welcome to the first episode of Problems Without Solutions. No, it's not that those kind of problems which don't have solutions at all. Yes, they have solutions, but they're not applied in this real world. People just keep complaining about those problems and they know the solutions, they already know that they are in front of them, but they're not being applied in the real life. And what we are going to do in this episode, we're going to highlight those issues and along with those solutions. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about the plight of students and the worst condition of our education system. My name is Samar Rose. Let's get started. So, first up, I'll take up the issue of pace of learning. As we all know that every student have a different pace. So, one pace cannot satisfy all the students in the class. You get that too, right? But what happens in the class? Teacher teaches in one pace. Even if it satisfies 4 to 5 first benchers, they just move on to the next topic. What does it indicate? The last benchers and the other students who didn't get it, they can't say that, no sir, I didn't get it. Please repeat that. Why they can't say that? If they even say, the teacher will make fun of him. They'll mock him. So that's the problem. That's the first problem, the pace of learning. You can't satisfy all those students in the class with one pace. So particular pace of learning is not suitable for all those students. In our classroom, teacher teaches with their own pace. The concern is more about completing the syllabus. If some student in the class say yes sir, the teacher moves on. They don't give a damn about those students who didn't get it. They don't want them to say no sir, I didn't get it. Please repeat that. Because even if they say, people or the teacher and the students will make fun of him. So that's what prevents a student to say, no sir, I didn't get it, please repeat that. So the next problem is about examinations. What happens in our examinations? What is the purpose of examination? To evaluate and improve yourself, right? But what happens is you just evaluate and no improvement. Remember what I just said? The purpose of examination is evaluate and then improve yourself. But here what happens is you just evaluate and people, society throw you into the bracket of average student, below average student, above average student, topper student. That's what happens. That's not a good sign, right? So it says you just evaluate, do not tend to improve that particular topic because the class moves on. And what everyone says, what is done is done. Just forget about it. I'm sharing a funny story with you. What happened with me? In my computer examination, I got less marks. So I got to the teacher. Teacher gave me my answer sheet and I was looking at it. Maybe a couple of minutes passed, maybe 1 minute or two. I couldn't read my whole answer sheet. How could I point out my mistakes and improve on them? What he said, your time is up. Just return your answer sheet. You can't give it more time for this. So you can see that they're not concerned about improving what you did. They just want you to evaluate and just that's it. How can you improve? Let me ask you something. How can you improve? By knowing that where were you stuck, that where were the loopholes located? That's the way you can get it, right? So what happens is, I'm telling you the fact. In our schools, what happens is, the next day of the examination, about the question of examination, teacher don't give a shit about it. They just say, oh, examination is done. What is done is done. Just move forward. Next chapter is blah, blah, blah. So that's what happens in our schools. That's a big problem. There's a whole lot of problem. Maybe it's enough for a student to get depressed or something. But either way, it's happening the way it is happening. The solution I have is e-learning. The e-learning is bringing revolution in our education system. How? First up, remember the first issue, the pace of learning? This e-learning solves that issue. How? You can repeat those lectures any number of times as much as you want. That's a big advantage, right? You can repeat it as much as you want. Our teacher says that you can ask as much as you want in our classrooms too. But hey, that's not practically feasible, right? When you ask that much of questions, teacher get irritated. They won't just say it. No, don't ask me silly questions. Please come up with good questions. Oh man, his basics is not clear. How can he can't come up with silly questions? He have to because his base is not clear. So he has to come up with those questions which are silly in your opinion, but they are not silly. No question is silly, right? If you're not getting something, and if you're asking, it does not mean that question is silly. That's what the teacher says. Oh, don't come up with silly questions. Come up with some great questions. Oh man, that student didn't get the whole basic idea of the topic. How can you expect him to come up with those questions? Okay, so the next problem was the examinations, right? But what happens in these examinations? You get test series. What happens here is you get your rank. That purpose was filled by our convention system too. But what you're getting more in here is you getting a whole lot of analysis. You're getting that in which chapter and which topic you lost your marks. So that's where you can improve yourself on that topic. Also, the e-learning is quite affordable and compared to what conventional coaching institutes cost. For example, let's take an example of coaching institutes which are running in here, which are very famous, and they do make toppers every single year. But do you know what the fees they charge? They are over lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, up to 5 lakhs. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that you're paying 5 lakhs for just coaching? What? Are you kidding me? You're going to school, you're getting nothing in there. The teacher is telling you that, oh, just ignore what your teacher teaches in your school. What's the difference? Why there's so much of a difference? There's so much of bifurcation between the boards, J mains and J advanced. Why there's a whole lot of bifurcation in there? That's not something which has to be there. I don't think it's a good idea to be here. So that was it. Hope you have liked this podcast, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.